A moment ago, it was announced that BYU will retire the number 6, worn by Mark Wilson, Robbie Bosco, and Luke Staley. Robbie and Luke are here with us today. Mark couldn't make it, but he did send this message for us.
Well, it was a great thrill. You know, it's such a great honor to have that happen. And, you know, I have kind of secretly hoped that this day would come, and didn't know that it would, of course. And so to have this happen is just it's just a fantastic thing for me and my family. And as I said, it's just a great honor to have this happen and to be kind of thought of in the same light of some of the other guys who've had their jerseys retired. So it's been a great few days. And this is going to be really fun to have this happen with them. I'm just honored to have my name associated with theirs and to have worn the same jersey, and then to have this event happen for all three of us. It's just going to be a great time together.
Mark is the 1979 Sammy Baugh Trophy winner and BYU's first consensus All-American. You see some of the other accolades during his career at BYU. And Robbie, he came just a bit before you. What did Mark Wilson mean to this program?
Well, the very first BYU football game I ever saw was Mark Wilson against San Diego State on national television. And his first 5 passes were touchdowns. I've never seen anything like that before, and I said, that's the school I want to go to. And so it turned out great for me, and Mark's a great person. We've become very close friends, and he kind of is the guy that kind of led me coming here and being a part of that, and he's a tremendous person, a lot of fun to be around.
Luke, these guys like Mark and Robbie, they came before you, so when you showed up on campus, you pretty much knew that you'd arrived at the big time, hadn't you?
Yeah, it's something that, you know, as a kid growing up, it's where I wanted, it's where I saw myself playing. You know, I really didn't have any other, personally, didn't have any other options to go play anywhere else. BYU is where I was going to go, was my dream. We
saw you beat Michigan again this morning. Every time we show that, you win, so you're like 50-0 against Michigan. Nice job. As we look at some of the accolades that you've achieved here at BYU, and you've been back at the campus working for some time, a very familiar face, but I think sometimes we might take that for granted a little bit. 1984, undefeated in a national championship is as big as it gets here at BYU football. What did that experience mean to you?
Well, it was amazing. The thing is, with the great football team that we had, you have to look at the past teams that we had. And I think because of the success that BYU had in the past, enabled us to reach that pinnacle. And with so many, I don't think it would just happen if we had mediocre teams. So I think our team owes a lot to the success of BYU football and the great players that played before us.
When you see these highlights, do you ever stop and tell yourself, hey, you know what, I was pretty good?
Yeah, good thing they show only good things, though. Because there's a few things that weren't very good. But
we were in the green room with the guys, with Ty and Kalani, and we were watching the Holiday Bowl, and they said you limped more after a completion than an incompletion.
Yeah, you never want to watch a football game with Ty, because he always notices all the crazy things that I do. So, but we had a lot of fun in there, and it's just great to be a part of BYU football, BYU athletics, and this university, and I'm so grateful to have had that opportunity to come here.
All right, well, congratulations. Luke, why did you pick number 6? It's a different kind of number for a running back.
When I was in high school, I was playing on the varsity team, and when I went to go pick my number, I only had 2 options, 49 and 6. So 49 was out of the question. So went with 6, and when I got to BYU, actually my freshman year, I was 26 because we had Kevon Morton was number 6.
Okay.
So I had to wait till my sophomore year to get 6.
Well, you made the most of it as you see some of the awards there, and the Doak Walker is the nation's best college running back. When healthy, what was it like to feel unstoppable?
You know, I don't think, you look back at that team and it wasn't just one aspect, the running game that was unstoppable. I think, as a cohesive group, we were unstoppable, from everywhere, offensive linemen, receivers, quarterback. That was a great team I was part of.
What does it mean to you? This was one of your greatest runs ever, to beat the Utes late in the 4th quarter with the place going nuts. What does it mean to you to have your jersey retired?
It's, I grew up and BYU football was everything that, I aspired to be. I would go and sneak into the stadium and just sit there and look at the stadium and envision myself playing. So it's, something that I never imagined, and I never thought about it. And it's a, a total honor for me.
So now with Wisconsin will be in the top 20 as they come in. The game's on ABC. The stadium will be packed on a Saturday afternoon. And the three of you get to stand out there in your Royals and watch that happen. Have you allowed yourself to think about what that might feel like?
Yeah, I've gone back and, I've watched, when Steve Young had his, Jim McMahon. And, you sit here and you look at BYU and, the quarterback university and, just a running back that was part of a team that we had, large successes. It's a total honor, and I don't know if I should be up there with these guys, but I'll take it.
You wouldn't mind handing the ball off to him, would you?
I coached when this guy played, and he's a humble man, but this guy was one of the greatest that we've ever seen and that college football's ever seen. He was spectacular to watch.
We know that Lavelle will be there on that day in spirit. He won't be there in person, but he is one of the reasons why you will be there for that day and why you came here. In that recruiting pitch from Coach Edwards, what did he say to you, Luke? That
I don't know if there was much of a recruiting pitch because I was already, I came here to a football camp as a junior.
Yeah.
He, came up, wheeling up in his golf cart, chewing on his tongue, said, "Hey, we would love to have you come here." So I walked away and kind of thought about it for a second, and I think I went back to him 20 minutes later and said, I'm good to come. So there was probably 3 or 4 things that were key factors of me coming, and he was, I wanted the opportunity to play for a legend.
Robbie, your choice to come, and in that recruiting process, you're following, there's Mark Wilson, there's Jim McMahon, there's Steve Young, certainly easy guys to replace, so I'm sure you're eager to come in and take the mantle there. What about for you?
It was, that was hard. I mean, because you never want to be known as the guy that didn't do it. And there was a lot of amazing players. So when I was a freshman, Jim McMahon was a senior, and obviously I knew Mark and Giff and those guys. And then I followed and I backed up Steve, and he was tremendous as well. And so I put a lot of pressure on myself.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always pressure being the quarterback at BYU, but there's no more pressure than what you can put on yourself, and I did. I mean, it was very hard for me, and the very first game I played against Pitt, I didn't even know if I wanted to get on the plane and go because of what was the potential of could happen, and but it it turned out great, and it's just a lot of great teammates and a lot of great memories from those teams.
Well, congratulations to both of you and to Mark Wilson as well. And we'll see you on that great day out on the field again in September to have your jerseys retired. Luke Staley, Robbie Bosco.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next, we'll turn the spotlight on to head coach Kalani Sitake and his 2017 Cougars. This is BYU Football Media Day on BYU TV, BYU Radio, and ESPN3.